The family argument over the meaning of the meal in front of us has lasted for centuries. I don't believe that's what the risen Christ wants for the Church of Jesus Christ. Oh, there are various meanings, various ideas about the meaning of the meal. Some say that somehow through some process, the elements become the very body and blood of Christ. There are variations of that perspective, and terrible family battles have been waged over the various perspectives. Now, I don't want to brush aside these arguments because they do make a difference. But regardless of our view of the supper, it's a time of remembering, reclaiming, and perhaps being reclaimed. We do believe that the risen Christ is present here today in ways that we cannot fully understand or explain. For God's sake, can't we sit at the table and eat together as Christ would have us eat? You know, I was taught that the bread and the cup were only symbols. In fact, the meal was tacked on at the end of the service, kind of a freestanding event. Only a symbol. At the end of our 5th week in the United Kingdom, when I was on sabbatical, we went to Edinburgh, Scotland. We didn't know what we were getting into, but there, during our time there, was the military tattoo. It's where military bands march and play for several thousand people on the esplanade of the Edinburgh Castle. It was misty that evening. There were 7 of us there. We could only get 6 seats together, so I was odd person out. And when the U.S. Army band marched out of the castle, and an army sergeant stepped forward and sang, "Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain," I sat there between 2 Scottish women and cried. It wasn't my country. It was only a symbol. But it was a powerful symbol for me. In fact, we can argue that we do not have symbols, but symbols have us. See the ring on my finger? It's not my marriage, but it reminds me of the one I love and from whom I receive love. It reminds me of the commitment that we have made for better or for worse. It's only a symbol, but it's a powerful one. A wisely chosen, intelligently used symbol is an incredibly powerful tool. Symbols are what we use when mere words will not do, when we cannot find the right words, or the words that we want to use get caught in a lump in our throats. A single red rose, a carefully folded United States flag presented at graveside to the veteran, to the family of a veteran on behalf of a grateful nation. Only a symbol, but only a symbol will do. After he had shared the meal with his disciples, Jesus took the bread and wine, leftovers from the meal, things that would be at the table 3 times a day, and he transformed them into symbols that will move us, that cause us to remember for as long as we live. When you eat the bread, when you drink the cup, remember me. Remember that you are freed from sin because I have taken it upon myself. Remember how much God loves you. Words from Jesus, who had the power to take the most ordinary elements and transform them so that they are unforgettable, or perhaps to transform them so that He is unforgettable. And maybe even transform us. Jesus takes the commonplace and transforms it into the extraordinary. Water into wine, sickness into health, death into life, doubt into faith. A ragtag band of fishermen and tax collectors into disciples. Us into more than we ever imagined we could be. It's only a symbol, but only a symbol will do. That's the witness of the supper, a reality too deep, too unexplainable for words. Yes, perhaps only a symbol will do.